Well, thank you. I shall try to be very brief, and thanks a lot to the colleagues. I had time to look up on the war insurance, so I had some idea as to whether it's possible or not. So I'll address directly this. A very quick remark. It turns out that the war insurance is an option. I didn't think it was. At first, I thought that was a bit of a crazy idea, but it turns out that it can possibly be done. Well, I mean, after all, for so many days, we hear the news that so many missiles were fired at Ukraine, so many were intercepted, so many hit their targets. That's maybe by now enough data points for the insurance companies to answer the question that if somebody wants to build, let's say, a Bayraktar factory, and there is a certain chance every day that it will be hit by the Russian missile, at what price will those companies underwrite this risk premium? But I think the main thing about this is, I think it should be understood that the war insurance it's an option, but it's costly, and the foreign aid, it's not unlimited. So every dollar that will be spent on the war insurance is a dollar that will not be spent on, let's say, on the Ukrainian infrastructure or on the education and so on. So this is not, this option is not free, and it may very well be that ending the war sooner is cheaper than going on with the war.
I have heard that war insurance is 1%. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood.
I'm sure somebody can do the numbers, right? But the answer is all in the numbers, right? But the war insurance is not for free. The other important point on basically what I think is important point on the other discussion that I have heard basically is that well, it's the following. Well, it's very clear that the main imperative that will come from all the international organizations, from all the donors, basically, is the rule of the law and the fight with corruption. So it's clear that this will be the central imperative coming from the donors, the World Bank, the OECD, and the others, and so on and so on, right? And well, this is the very right policy to get the fundamentals right and to ensure the long-term economic growth. But it has a problem in that the fighting corruption, in terms of the truth, it certainly takes more than 5 years. And what will happen, the oligarchs were discussed here at quite length, and I have no doubt that just like and Latvia, and I think Lithuania and the others, I think the Ukraine is to a very large extent, the economy is in the state of oligarchic capture. As I think it was mentioned by Mr. Miklos that there is this missing middle. I think this is very right. Yes, this is also what we see in other countries. And what will happen, I'm afraid, and this is what we have all experienced in Latvia and Lithuania and Estonia, is that in 4 years or 5 years, whenever the next elections are, the oligarchs will hit back with everything that they've got. And they will have a lot. They will have bought or already have bought the media and so on and so on. So what is important is to create this middle. The middle that will sort of be also not just the economic middle, but also the political middle. So as to make sure that the reform team that will implement all of those reforms, like for example, Vilnius mentioned that it would be great to privatize to the foreigners, right? In terms of economics, this is great economics, but anybody who's been in politics knows that this is awful politics, right? The locals hate it when the national companies are given away to the foreigners, right? So this is in the long run great economics. In the short run, very dangerous politics, right? So you must be sure you have a lot of political capital to do something like that, right? So my main proposition that I want to kind of throw in is that I think in order to make sure that the reform program lasts more than 4 or 5 years, is that this missing middle economic middle and the political middle, it has to be created. And I believe that the only way to create it is through what's known as the structural transformation. Right? This is basically a process of basically facilitating creation of new industries. Right? I very much doubt that this missing middle can be created in existing industries. Right? Because this is where the oligarchs typically go for the basically the infrastructure, right? The hard capital, and so on and so on. So they bought it, they have it, right? This is it. But it's the new industries where, as experience shows, also in Latvia and other countries, this is where the absolutely new young guys are those who become the new millionaires and so on and so on, and where this this missing middle, this new middle, can be created. So I think it's very important that together with the fight with corruption and the rule of law and so on and so on, and of course the World Bank and the OECD will tell you a lot about how to do that, but also this structural transformation, ensuring that there is a new economic and political middle that should be created within 4 to 5 years. I think that's a very important part of what has to be done. That's it. Thank you.